Omar Isuf here, guys. I gotta talk about it. Summer's approaching. Everybody cares about this topic. Why doing high reps exclusively for fat loss? Why it's a terrible idea? Why it's bullshit? And if I'm talking about bullshit, it's only fitting I'm wearing my boy Infinite Edge Intensity, aka Trapped in Fantastic, and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, his shirt. Okay, I'm pointing it out. I'm talking about this because I saw in a magazine, not gonna make reference to the specific one that I read it in. I was like, you want to get cut, you basically gotta do high reps. Now, this is bullshit if you really want to lose weight and maintain your muscle mass. That's the key point I want to make. Maintaining your muscle mass. You spent all that hard effort trying to make those gains over the winter months, forever bulking, perma bulking, and you're just gonna lose it suddenly because you're doing some dumb program. Let me explain why high reps exclusively for fat loss is a bad idea. First, why do people recommend it maybe? That's a better idea. Metabolic training, right? What does that mean? Usually doing higher reps, 15 to 20 reps, shorter rest intervals, so 30 to 60 seconds. You're doing largely compound movements. You're doing a higher density, it's known, of work in that same time. So you're doing more sets, more repetitions compared to, say, strength training, which would be, 5 to 8 repetitions, taking a longer period of rest. Now, the argument goes, somewhat rightfully so, that it burns more calories. Density's higher. You're doing more work. You're burning more calories. At the same time, it helps to deplete glycogen, which can be linked to increased fat oxidation. Here's the problem though. That sounds good in theory, and it can totally work. But what helped you build that muscle? Progressive overload, right? Getting better, getting stronger, that time under tension. We already explained about mechanical tension and metabolic stress. Those same mechanisms that help you build muscle are going to be important when you're trying to maintain it. They're identical. In other words, unless you're doing strength training, unless you're trying to make your body better, challenging your muscles, they're going to waste away. You're in a deficit. Your body wants to get rid of shit, right? Muscle is expensive from a caloric perspective. So, if you're only working it around, because if you do metabolic training higher reps, it's usually about 60%, something like that of your 1 rep max, you're not going to maintain your strength. Goodbye gains, it was nice knowing you. That's the primary problem. They get it twisted by magazines. They think, burn more calories, let's just do more of it. That's not the case. If you really want to lose weight, what does it boil down to, right? It sounds too good to be true what they say. It boils down to essentially being in a slight caloric deficit, focusing on strength training, and then adding extra, energy system work. Maybe doing a little bit of circuit training. So sure, some of that stuff right there, some of that metabolic training, maybe 1 day a week, is not a bad idea. Doing it exclusively to tone, sculpt, stubbornly lose fat in a particular area, that's bullshit. It's a classic example of taking a concept that can be understood, density, increasing your caloric output in a specific, hour of training, twisting it a little bit, misconstruing it, and then making, misguiding people, and then they lose their gains. If you really want to lose weight, as I just said to summarize, you want to focus on being in a slight deficit, making sure you pursue strength, trying to get better, and do that over a long period of time, 12 to 16 weeks, and you'll see noticeable progress. I'm going to link in the description below Lyle McDonald, who has fantastic articles on this topic, how to incorporate it effectively. I've talked about circuit training before, right? Metabolic training. It being done alongside strength training, not being done exclusively by itself, which doesn't make sense. I hope that clears it up. Over time, I expect some of these articles are just going to go away, and some of this bullshit, loses steam, and people realize what you really need to do. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys, in this video today. May your fat loss journey be successful. May you get shredded for summer, forever lean, right? Never perma bulk. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video, and I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!